that last part of the interview was very punctual because we're talking about what you do, and you have a business in Kid Monster Creations.
Yes.
What exactly is Kid Monster Creations, and besides Corsairs, where are you going to be taking this?
You know, we want to start off with books.
And we want to see the shirt.
Yes, and shirt.
There it is.
Sid the Kid. That's our logo.
All right.
All right.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's funny because one of the things that I've been talking to my partner about is at some point, because everybody's in love with this logo, and then they're in love with the original logo. For those of you who may have seen it, it's a chalk outline of the monster. Maybe getting that on clothing, you know, or people licensing this if they want to use this particular dinosaur. I mean, I've had dozens of skateboard kids come and, yo, where'd you get that shirt? Yo, I like the dinosaur.
That's hot.
Yeah. So that's something that we want to do in terms of marketing and merchandising the actual logo. Obviously, we want to create books. My partner is very passionate about music. I don't know how that's going to manifest itself, but we're looking at all angles.
The Internet. What's the lead singer name?
Which one?
The Internet. Who's the lead singer?
Oh, I'm Sid the Kid.
There you go. Yes.
Yes.
Make it happen.
Yes. So, yeah, I mean, I don't think any avenue is closed to us. Mm-hmm. I mean, we're open to looking at anything, but it has to be meticulous, it has to be well thought out. And I think right now on our plate is getting a library of books out, because everybody loves Corsairs, but Corsairs is getting to its tail end, and we want to produce some other books that we have already in the hopper that's being worked on now, and I want to see how people react to those as well.
Bars. That's what's up. So, in meeting, I met a lot of creators who create comic books, and y'all are some of my favorite people.
Thank you.
I don't want to put all their names into it,
yes,
but to all my people, you know who you are. And the battery's about to die, which is crazy. I'm gonna cut that. But to all my people, and you know who you are, you have a very innate responsibility not only to teach the masses of children that's coming, but you can also teach millions of adults who want to learn how to create. So, I want to start the rapid fire questions. Okay. Anybody who knows Heritage Hip Hop knows the rapid fire questions are not yes and no questions, but they're not fluff questions. So, being that you're into comic books,
yes,
I'm going to ask you some comic book related things, and I'm going to ask you some hip hop related things. And we're going to blend them together and give the people what they want.
Okay.
Besides those books. Buy those books, y'all.
Yes.
So here we go. What person in hip hop, artist, helped mold you into the man that you are? And when I say artist, it doesn't have to be a rapper only. It could be anything in hip hop culture.
Man, wow. I think that's a big question. Unfortunately, I can't give you one person, but I'll quickly tell you some influences. From a be true to thyself perspective, it's Nas. I love Nas.
Okay.
Nas doesn't care. He's creating art. He's gonna put it out. He doesn't care how many he's gonna sell. If you gravitate towards it, then so be it. I think from a business perspective, more recent, I love Top Dog Entertainment. I think what he's doing with Kendrick Lamar and J-Rock and those guys is just absolutely amazing, and they're being, again, authentic. They're creating, their sound is not the typical Compton, USA sound. It's a completely different lane that most people thought that folk from that area and then also globally wouldn't connect with. If you look in old school, it's Eric Sermon. I'm a huge EPMD fan.
Like Bernia?
Oh, Bernia was about a 6 for me. Okay. A 6 for me. I have it on my phone though. But I love EPMD and the entire Hit Squad and Def Squad. I just love those guys so much because they're creative. I mean, they do anything and everything, and it works. Redman. People didn't know how to digest Redman, who's just absolutely one of my people. Redman, I'm looking for you. I've never met you. I want to meet you.
That makes 2 of us.
Yes. But he stuck to his guns, and he's easily one of the greatest rappers. No, I take that back. Easily one of the greatest MCs that we have in history. In terms of his lane. So.
All right. So, if that's the artist, what comic book character changed your life to make you believe?
Oh man, wow, that's a great question. You're gonna laugh when I say this, but my first comic book character that I actually liked was Captain America.
Okay.
Which ironically is the polar opposite of what I am and who I am. But what I thought was cool at the time was what he stood for, and he had this which is obviously wrong now, this colorist view. He helped everybody regardless of who they were, so I like that part of it. But it quickly shifted to Spider-Man, and Spider-Man is probably easily my favorite character, because you have this guy who's immensely powerful, and he's balancing it with his own moral code and responsibility, and he could have easily used it for riches and all sorts of things, and he's a struggling guy with the power of a demigod.
Yeah, I mean, Spider-Man and Batman are the one's the child coming of age, and one is the child making a name.
It's
bugged out.
Right.
Okay. Being that you love music,
yes,
what album defines your life?
Man, what album defines my life?
What album? Only one.
One. If you're gonna,
you're struggling between like a couple. Just
it's funny because I'm a huge Nas fan. I love Nas, but if I had to say what described my life, it would have to be Low End Theory or Electric Relaxation, because Tribe and those guys are similar to who I am.
Okay.
I'm not gonna sit here and lie. I didn't grow up in a Queensbridge style project.
Right.
I did grow up in an apartment complex, but not Queensbridge.
Right.
I think Tribe, growing up in a semi-suburb, little bit of urban area, that reflects who I am.
When we also pick something that's our favorite, it's a reflection of ourselves.
Yes.
So what is the greatest comic book story ever written that reflects you?
The greatest comic book story ever written that reflects me. Man, you're killing me with these questions. This is a tough question, because now I got to go through my mental encyclopedia of comic book stories. I'm sorry, people out there. I'm gonna have to pass on this because I'm trying to go through it. That's a tough question that they ask.
So then, what are the greatest comic book stories that you've read? Three. Three that you really like.
I mentioned a recent issue of the Hulk. We was talking off camera that I really enjoyed, that equated the Hulk with white privilege. I thought that was very well done and well written. I do love, I love any story with Spider-Man, because Spider-Man is always juggling responsibility with his moral code. I'm a huge fan of Spider-Man, so there's not one story that I like. I do have to say, if I had to pick a third, it would probably be Giant Size X-Men, when Marvel decided to diversify the team.
So the first one, 1975. John.
Right.
Okay.
The Giant Size one, the introduction of Colossus, Storm, Banshee, Thunderbird, Nightcrawler.
Wolverine came out in the blue.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Music is something that we listen to and we dance to, but it also invokes feeling. Mm-hmm. What is the greatest beat of all time? Meaning, if you were an artist and you could rap, it would be the song that you would want to come out with the music that you want to rap to, more than the artist that
If you ask me right at the top of the dome right now, I gotta say Shook Ones. Shook Ones Part 2.
That's a classic.
It's just something that's just infectious about that beat, and it's so funny because those lyrics are just so dire and hard, but it brings a level of brotherhood. And I'll quickly say this. I remember being at the concert at NJ Pack the day Prodigy died. Mm-hmm. And Shook Ones came on. And the whole audience, line by line, people crying, hands in the air, their chest out singing it. And that type of emotion, it was thick. That emotion was thick. And I think that song.
Art of Rap. When Haddock had the shades on.
Yeah, he's crying. He couldn't even finish the verse. He couldn't even finish the verse.
His family came out and did it.
Yeah, I think
that was touching.
Yeah, I think Shook Ones is just one of those songs. Once it comes on, that.
Yeah.
You already know what time it is.
Yeah, my man Patterson, he's from Queens and from the project. And he said, whenever that song comes on,
man, look,
a spirit comes in the room where it's pride for people from the projects. Like, that was their anthem.
Yes.
So then, understanding that music gives that feeling, if you had to pick a theme song, what would be the song that defines Corsairs?
Oh, man. Charlie, you're going to kill me. I know you're probably thinking of something different. If I had to pick one for Corsairs, just because I love the beat and the wordplay, I'm going with Verbal Intercourse.
Wow, for Corsairs?
Yeah.
Whoa, that's deep.
I'm going with Verbal Intercourse.
I'm going to have to reread the book. What do you think about that?
No, I mean, because it's just the beat is off the cuff, the book is off the cuff, two different styles.
So if that was an anime, Verbal Intercourse would be the opening.
Yes.
Whoa.
Yeah. I have to pick Verbal Intercourse. That's
okay.
That. Yeah.
Okay. One of the dopest gifts about being a creator is to be able to give life. And you are a father to a magnificent young man.
Thank you.
Naveen is my boy. That's my guy, yo. That's my guy.
Yes.
And you did a video where he recited the lines to children's story.
Yes.
Why was that so hip hop for you besides him rapping?
Well, you know, my son is an old soul. You know, my wife and I, we became parents a little bit later than most people. I, being a huge hip hop lover of the culture first, the culture, I wanted to set the foundation for him because I already know he's gonna gravitate to Lil Yachty, the Baby, all those people because that's his era.
Yeah.
But I can lay the foundation. I'm putting the basement in. You know, he can build a house on the top of a strong basement. That's the way I look at it if I use an analogy.
Right.
And he actually loves storytelling rap. So, you know, when he was younger, looking for things that he can listen to that didn't have too much cursing or sexual innuendo, Children's Story was one of them. He just gravitated to it. And to this day, like his mother, he's a huge Slick Rick fan. Loves Slick Rick.
Okay. So that begs the question then. Hip hop, comics.
Yes.
See, fatherhood is a weird thing. I'm around a man who has his own. I'm a stepdad. So you're passing on yourself to your child.
Correct.
And your child is giving you back with their own remix and
yes.
twist. And understanding that, if Dan McNeal had to remix himself into today,
yes,
what would Dan McNeal tell himself right now at 20 years old?
Oh, I think that's an easy question. Like many people in my age group and of my era, there was an obligation to your parents, right? Where you want to see them happy. But in the course of that, your dreams are deferred.
Yeah.
And because you don't want to let your parents down, especially when you see your mother working 12 hours, you see your father scraping up money so you can have the fill in the blank, so you're not ostracized. So as a result of that and that obligation, there were some things that I didn't fully pursue. And if I knew what I knew now, I would have told me to go for it. Your parents are going to love you regardless. They're not going to be mad. Do what your heart wants you to do. And that's the thing that I definitely impart to my son. I said, look, regardless of what I say, what your mother say, if you want to be, my son wants to be a zoologist. You want to be a zoologist, be the best zoologist. Don't worry about me. I may say it's crazy that you're gonna go sleep with some elephants or whatever, you know. But if that's your passion, chase it, because at some point you're not gonna be able to do so.
That's dope. Now, usually I ask questions about remixes and all this other stuff. I'm not gonna ask you that.
Okay.
I'm gonna actually ask you something that's reflective of hip hop culture.
Okay.
But it's bastardized by. It's bastardized in hip hop culture, but it's celebrated in comic books.
Okay.
And that's gamesmanship and the team concept.
Yes.
There's not too many groups in hip hop anymore.
Nope.
What's the most powerful group in hip hop? And how would you translate them to comics?
Oh, well, that's the easy one. Wu-Tang. Wu-Tang is arguably the most powerful group in hip hop on a variety of levels. One, in terms of creativity. You have 9 men, 9 distinct personalities coming together to create amazing works. You have 9 men who had separate deals and changed the industry standard for a group. You have a global recognized icon in the Wu-Tang emblem. You have a global fan base. And then they also, I don't want to say introduce, but reintroduce the concept of having more than one identity. You know, Method Man, Hot Nickels, Johnny Blaze, you know, Methacal. You know, he has 3 to 4 different aliases. You know, and each member has that. So I arguably they are probably the most powerful group that has ever existed in hip hop, in my opinion.
So that Wu-Tang PS1 game was you.
Yeah, man, and this documentary was just
Mike Cement was great.
Yeah, just amazing. You know, I had to shed a tear or two for that one.
The Old Dirty episode was very poignant.
Yeah.
Episode 3 was very poignant.
Right.
Okay, 2 more questions and then we're gonna close out.
Okay.
If I could remember, because you just threw me off with that Wu-Tang one. Because I was just like, really, Wu-Tang?
Yeah.
Interesting. So, no, you know what? I think we're gonna shut it down right here because I think that really summed everything up.
All right.
So the last question is, as you spoke before about your son having his own legacy, and unfortunately you not being on the earth for many years, which we count as thousands, millions years, nobody shanks him. You know, we're not gonna live like that.
Right.
But if Kid Monster Creations is around, no, I'm sorry, Kid Monster Creations will be around the year 5000.
Okay.
What would Kid Monster Creations be, and what is that legacy Kid Monster Creations has done to make the world better and to inspire creativity?
I think Kid Monster Creations will be a multimedia / technologically centered organization. One that creates product, one that helps community to get engaged in it, and then also embraces technology and creativity simultaneously, and pushes forward with that, not looking at, you know, just whatever is the flavor of the day, you know, always pushing the envelope to be innovative, always pushing the envelope to be unique, always pushing the envelope to contribute something positive to the world.
All right, everybody, so we hope that you enjoyed this interview. This was like a blessing for me because this is my man right here. We don't need to see each other too often. Shout out to his lady.
Thank you.
Shout out to his son. Naveen is my man.
Yes.
Very insightful
young
man. And we celebrate families and we celebrate culture on here. So to everybody out there, thanks for watching. We say peace.
Peace.
And we out.
Real hip hop. Real